Clash Royale is on the comeback, ladies and gentlemen, and with this recent surge in popularity, there are a lot of new players coming to the game. So if you are one of those new players and need some help with Clash Royale, then this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to be giving 10 tips that I recommend all new players follow. Or even if you're not a new player and just an inexperienced player looking to gain more knowledge about Clash Royale, then I still recommend watching this video. So with that out of the way, I say let's go ahead and start the video. Although really quick, something really quick, I promise. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, be sure to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And also if you enjoy the video, then leave a like as well. So the first major tip that I want to give to you guys is to focus up on leveling one deck in particular. Leveling up your cards is something that is extremely important in Clash Royale in order to have a lot of success. For example, if you have level 8 cards, but you're playing against someone who has level 10 cards, then that opponent with level 10 cards is going to have a much easier time of winning. It sucks that Clash Royale does match you up against people where this is the case, but that is the reality of the game. So I say we improvise, adapt, and overcome. Now, you don't have to do this immediately, but I recommend while you're in the first, 6 or 7 arenas or so, find a deck that you enjoy playing and focus on leveling up that deck. Of course, as you progress throughout the trophy road and unlock new cards, and maybe you find a card that fits better in your deck, in that case, you can incorporate that card and focus on leveling up that card to, equal the rest of your deck. But I don't recommend just leveling up cards that you know that you're not going to use, because at that point, it's just wasted gold and wasted magic items that you could be spending on cards that you know for sure that you're actually going to use. And also, your magic items are extremely important when focusing on leveling up one deck, so be sure to utilize all of your magic items for that one deck. Unfortunately, you can't unlock magic items until you're at King level 4, but when you get there and when you are able to start unlocking the magic items in the trophy road, then be sure to utilize them. Yeah, you start getting magic items right here in Pekka's Playhouse at 1050 trophies, and you continue to get them throughout the trophy road, and they are extremely important. And maybe if you have a little bit of spare cash, maybe put some money into getting some magic items. Like this offer with the giant chest right here for $3, you get giant chests. It looks like 2 giant chests, 150 common wild cards, and 25 rare wild cards. So those are extremely important for progression. And if you just have some side cash, then I recommend maybe buying a shop offer every now and then. Tip number 2 is going to be to build a deck that has a balanced composition. So let me explain what it means to have a balanced deck in Clash Royale. Right now, I'm on my second account where I've actually pushed the 4,000 trophies as a level 8 using my own deck. And this is the deck that I built right here. It's a 4 elixir Pekka deck. And I feel like this is a decent example of a deck that is balanced. So in order to build a balanced deck, there's a few criteria that you need to meet. First things first is a win condition. And the win condition is the card in your deck that you're going to be utilizing to do the majority of your damage to enemy towers with. And in this particular deck, I actually have 2 major win conditions, with that being the Royal Hogs and the Miner. The Miner can, just be placed right on a tower, and the Royal Hogs are a good bridge spam card where you can just drop them at the bridge, and they're pretty hard to stop actually. Next up is, for most decks, I recommend that you add at least 2 spells. One small spell that's 3 elixir or under, and then a big spell, one that's like 4 elixir or over. So for this deck, we are using the poison and the zap as our 2 spells. Next up, I like to add a card which I consider like a hybrid card, which is like a mini tank slash a supporting card. And in this deck, that is the Night Witch. Basically, it has enough health where it can survive most spells in Clash Royale, and it can absorb hits from most cards, but it can also act as a supporting troop, so it's versatile on both offense and defense. Then the next thing that I think is really important is like a tank killer, something that that can deal with tanks effectively. And so for this deck, we're utilizing the Pekka to fill that role. A lot of people actually utilize the Pekka as a win condition, the same role that I'm using for the Royal Hogs and the Miner, but I actually don't recommend using the Pekka for that. I feel like it is better suited as a defensive card because it does a lot of damage. It can deal with tanks like giants, golems, and giant skeletons really well. And so that is the role it is serving in this deck. And then the last essentials I think you need to your deck is going to be air defense. And of course, in this deck, we have the minions and the baby dragon. They're both very solid at air defense. The minions are a good swarm card that can deal high DPS, and the baby dragon can deal splash damage, as well as it has a pretty decent damage output. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to this rule, such as buildings, or if you want to add multiple tank killers, or if you want to do a triple spell deck, then for sure you can do that. But this is the general mold that I use when I help people build decks and when I build my own decks. The next major tip that I want to give is to learn to be a patient player. I've talked about this a lot in the past, but one thing that you want to make sure you never do in Clash Royale is overcommit. So overcommitting in Clash Royale is basically when you spend more elixir than you need to in a given situation. For example, let's say first play of the game, you go with a mini P.E.K.K.A, Hog Rider, and Rage Spell at the bridge. You just spend all of your 10 elixir at the bridge. There's no need to do that because you don't know what your opponent has. Unless you're like a pro player and like you're accustomed to going up against the same players all the time, for the most part, you probably don't know what your opponent has. So you need to be patient and wait to see what your opponent has, so that way you just don't get exposed. Because let's say you do drop just all that at the bridge, and your opponent has a rocket. If that opponent times that rocket right, then it can counter that. So your opponent counters 10 elixir with only 6 elixir, so that gives them a 4 elixir advantage. And then let's say they play their own Hog Rider opposite lane, you won't have any elixir to defend that, so it's just overall not a good situation. So just try your best not to overcommit and you will be good. Like I said, I've gone more in depth talking about overcommitting in the past, and I'll show you guys a video. There should be an info card for it up there where you guys can check that out about overcommitting. So my next major tip is another tip that revolves around your gameplay in game, and it is don't neglect your towers on defense. I've seen tons of people on TikTok posting clips of them defending in Clash Royale, and a lot of the times what they'll do is they'll just defend cards right when they're at the bridge, and they won't let them cross the bridge, so that way the towers can actually do damage on them. The Princess Towers and the King Towers can actually help out a lot on defense. You don't need to defend everything before it crosses the bridge. So this is just, I know this is a quick tip, but just don't forget to utilize the towers on defense because they can put in a lot of work. Using a defensive card plus the towers is much more effective than just using a defensive card, you know? My next major tip is going to be all about gems, and be wise with how you spend these gems. I actually made an entire video about how to properly spend your gems in Clash Royale. There's an info card for that up here if you guys want to check out that video, but I'll just briefly highlight some of the points of that video here. I feel like one of the worst uses for gems is to actually gem your chest. Like, why would I waste 16 gems on gemming this gold chest right now when I can just wait 2 hours and 36 minutes? It won't kill you to wait for a chest to get unlocked, you know? Also, if you do purchase the Pass Royale, you do have the option to spend gems to progress your tiers, but that costs 100 gems per tier. That is a big waste of gems. Do not do that. Also, coming over to the item shop, I do not recommend buying cards with gems. 250 gems for 5 epic cards is an extremely terrible deal. Do not do that. That also goes for emotes as well. I know a lot of people really like Clash Royale emotes and they like using them, but if you want an actual effective way to spend your gems, do not spend them on emotes. If you want to progress more in the game, emotes is not really the place to spend them. Also, I do not recommend buying gold with your gems. 1,000 gold for 60 gems when you could just go over here and do a clan war battle duel and get 3,500. That isn't worth it. Now, where I recommend spending your gems the majority of the time is going to be in the special events tab. Now, you don't unlock this tab until King level 5, and you don't really get to the good challenges until King level 8, but I really recommend saving your gems until that point. Like an example right here is with these challenges. This is a really good challenge. The Goblin Drill Draft Challenge was really good. I believe it was a 12-win challenge, and if you lost the challenge and got 3 losses, you can spend 100 gems to re-enter if you don't have the Pass Royale. And if that emote is something you really want, and you want the rewards progressing up until the emote, I feel like that 100 gems is a worthy investment, especially if you've been saving. And these global tournaments as well, they provide insane value. So how global tournaments in Clash Royale work is you have the free track and then the bonus track. Regardless of what you do, you will get these free rewards. Like in this global tournament, I sucked a lot, but I got 8 wins, and I got all these bottom rewards guaranteed for that 8 wins. But if you want, for the bonus track, you can spend 500 gems and then get all of the rewards. And even though I only got to 8 wins out of the 15 wins where I had potential to get rewards, I believe that 500 gems is 100% worth these 8 win rewards. Like a legendary chest in itself is valued at 500 gems in the shop. And I got that plus 20,000 gold, some trade tokens, an epic chest, and a giant chest. Actually, 30,000 gold, excuse me. I got all of that for 500 gems when a normal legendary chest is valued at 500 gems. So I think it's a worthy investment, especially if you get 10 plus wins, because at 10 wins, you get that legendary King's chest, and at 15 wins, you get that magical chest. So I think it's definitely worth saving your gems for global tournament rewards when you are able to get to that point in Clash Royale. I know it may take a while to get to that point, but I recommend you save your gems until this point. My next tip kind of goes along with this, how to spend your gems, because it involves the event tab. But when you're able to participate in as many events as possible, let me show you guys something really quick. As I said earlier, really the only good events unlock at Arena 8, but you are able to still do special challenges at Arena 5 and up. I'm here on one of my accounts that's a level 7 account, and if we scroll to the events tab, you can see that these challenges are locked. Oh wait, I didn't realize you could participate in the Royal tournament. Oh wait, can you? No, you have to be King level 8. Okay, my bad. But as you can see, these challenges, the Goblin Drill challenge and the Triple Draft challenge, are locked. But Clash Royale does have special challenges for those who aren't at level 8 yet. Like right here, we have the Triple Elixir challenge. And with this challenge, you can still get rewards like silver chests, you get magic keys, gold chests, and at the end you get a lightning chest. So be sure to participate in as many events as possible, even if you're not at the point where you're at level 8 and you get all of the normal events. My next major tip is to not play when you are tilted. So what does being tilted mean? Well, let me explain. So being tilted in Clash Royale, or really any video game, basically means when you've gone on like a losing streak, maybe you've lost 2 or 3 consecutive games, and you're just really frustrated and really upset because you feel like the game is just totally against you, and you're just not having it. That's basically what being tilted means. And when you're tilted, your brain probably isn't going to be functioning as its normal self. You're going to be playing a lot more aggressive than you would normally, and you're just honestly going to be playing worse when you are tilted. So what I recommend is take a break. Maybe go play another Supercell game, you know? The Brawl Stars is a really cool game. Maybe go play that. Go play some Clash of Clans. Or if you don't play any other Supercell games, go play some Minecraft or Apex Legends or just some other game. And then after like 15 or 30 minutes or something, come back to Clash Royale when you have more of a clear head, and then try to get more trophies again. I've had my fair share of times where I've been tilted in Clash Royale and I've just kept playing. And let me tell you, it isn't really a fun experience, because I think the worst I've ever tilted is 300 trophies in one session. I remember one time I tilted from 6,000 trophies all the way down to 5,700. And that just, it isn't fun. It's a very degrading feeling. So if you feel that you are tilting, take a break, relax, and come back to the game later. The next major tip that I want to give you guys is to be sure to watch your replays. Again, this is something that I've elaborated more on a video in the past. It was that same video that I linked to about overcommitting, so if you want to hear me talk more about it, then go check out that video. But studying your replays is extremely important. If you lose a game and you don't know why you lost that game, then go watch your replay and see what you did wrong. See where you overcommitted and see where you just played bad. So that way you can learn and, you know, study that replay. I unfortunately have not battled in a long time, so I cannot show you guys that. Oh well, you would think I would prepare more ahead of time for these videos, right? Yeah, me too. My next tip is be sure to join an active and reliable clan. I feel like this is something that gets overshadowed a lot in Clash Royale, but being in a clan is honestly one of the best things that you can do to better yourselves. By being in a clan, you get to request cards, people get to donate cards to you, which helps you progress more. You can also utilize trade tokens in clans, so that way you can level up your cards faster, again, more progression. And you also get to participate in clan wars, which I personally find as a fun experience. And also you get a lot of gold, and just, it's a fun experience and it's more progression. Basically, if you're not in a clan, you're limiting how fast you progress in Clash Royale. I feel very fortunate where I have found myself in an extremely reliable clan. We do wars every single time we get the chance to. Everyone's always friendly. We always interact a lot. We always donate with each other. And a big shout out to the Dragon Warriors. You guys are the best clan I have ever been in. So my last tip isn't really much of a tip, but it's something that I recommend doing if you can, and that is to buy the Pass Royale. Yes, the Pass Royale is a $5 investment every month, But even if just for like 1 month you can buy the Pass Royale, then it is 100% worth it, because on the paid side you get so much more value out of it, and it's pretty easy to complete because with the recent update they made it so that way a lot of tiers take only 5 crowns as compared to 10 crowns, and the stuff that you get in it is ridiculous. And if you buy the Pass Royale, you get all of those rewards along with the free rewards. And next up we have a bonus tip, tip 11, and that is subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, because that's gonna be it for this video. And I really appreciate if you would subscribe. We're on the road to like what, 20K now, which is crazy to think about. So if you want to be a part of that journey, then be sure to subscribe down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and this is Solar Fury signing off. Peace out, guys. Have a nice day.